Hey guys, that monkey back here for that video, guys. Today, let's talk about DFS Week 6 for Draftkings. And which stacks do I like, which stacks do I do not like. Let's go ahead and give our first look of the week. I know it's Friday, and we're getting right into the weekend. So, starting off right away, we have Jalen Hurts, who does lead off the week with $8,200. Tua, obviously, $7,600. We have Justin Fields at $7,300. Kirko, who has $7,100. Anthony Richardson, who obviously is on IR. He's not going with him. T-Law, who's at $6,500. Jared Goff at $6,400. Joe Burrow at $6,300. And last week, Joe Burrow actually had his first good game of the season. I know it's crazy to say that, but he is, in fact, back. So get ready, Houday Nation. Matthew Stafford at $6,100, and then we have Geno, Purdy, Howell, Baker Mayfield, etc., etc., etc. So, starting off right away, there's a couple players we do not have on the slate. Is obviously Lamar Jackson. I don't think we don't have Pittsburgh Steelers either. There's no Kenny Pickett. So, it's an interesting slate. Like I said before, we have bye weeks this week. We have primetime games that taken away a lot of, value from this slate. But I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of looking at that Colts game. Colts versus Jags. Now, obviously, it's Gardner Minshew playing, and it's not going to be, Anthony Richardson. So I'm not going with the Gardner Minshew Express here. I'm actually going the opposite way, and I'm kind of looking toward T-Law. Now, last time, they put him week 1. T-Law had 18.74 points. And I'll be honest with you, Gardner Minshew could put up some points. He can. He can put up some points in this game, and he can be very successful in this game. There's also some buyback options, because if Gardner Minshew's in, I like Michael Pittman Jr. a lot better because of the fact that Michael Pittman, again, with Gardner Minshew, it just seems like it works out a little bit better. For the stack, though, I am going to go with Christian Kirk with T-Law. Tight end wise, don't really love Evan Ingram, but the Colts defense is very vulnerable to tight ends here, so I'm going to go with them, with Evan Ingram for that said reason. Now, buyback options, like I said before, I do really like Michael Pittman, but the question is, do I like him at 6,300, right? Because I can like a player, but at 6,300, that's when price tags get a little bit outrageous, and his return has to be something crazy for this to work out. Now, week 1, he did have the game of the year for himself, but that doesn't really matter when it comes to, what is he going to do this week, right? Week 1 is not this week. Now, with Gardner Minshew, again, like I said, he does have a higher upside, but I'm actually going to fade him. I'm going to fade any buyback options in this game just because of the fact that I'm kind of on the fence about this Colts squad right now. Again, I think they can score points in this game, but I don't know if I want any buyback options in that game. So, now going with defense, I'm going to go with a very cheap defense this week. I'm actually going to go with Patriots defense, which I know is crazy to say, but I think they can get a couple turnovers on this Raiders offense and also get after this Raiders offense. So, give me the Patriots and Bill Belichick to have a bounce back week after getting destroyed by the Saints and actually play some pretty dang good football. Alright, so now we are on to the rest of this. Now, wide receiver, I want to start off with a little bit of a cheaper play here. And I'm kind of interested in Tyler Lockett here. The main reason why is because Cheeto is probably not going to play for the Cincinnati Bengals. That means that it's going to be a mix of DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt, and of course, Mike Hilton against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You got to think they're going to stack the box and try to shut down the run on Kenneth Walker. And if that's the case, I kind of do like Tyler Lockett here. I think he could be a solid play. But the problem with that game is, the Bengals defense is really coming up as of late. So, I'm kind of on the fence about that one. Tutu Atwell here versus Arizona could be a really good sneaky play. 5,100. I don't mind that. It's not going to take much for him to return that price tag of 5,100. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of thinking about spending a lot of my money here on running backs. So, for example, I don't love Garrett Wilson here versus Philadelphia defense. Obviously, Garrett Wilson could overcome that, but that Eagles defense is ferocious. Not touching anything with Amari Cooper, Jacoby Myers, Jordan Addison versus Chicago. I'll take the gamble there. I'll take the gamble on the rookie there to get the job done versus Chicago. And now we are going to kind of go for more of a Hail Mary, not Hail Mary, but guaranteed points, right? Because now we need some guaranteed points. And I think DJ Moore could have another really solid week this week, especially coming off a really good week last week. He now gets Minnesota, which is already not the greatest on defense. And I think he could really, open up a lot in that game. Joe Mixon interests me a lot. I know this season he hasn't really taken off yet. But again, Seattle game this week, he's going to get a lot of carries. Last week he got his most carries he's had so far. And I really feel like this game could be another game where Joe Mixon just gets a lot of carries going into, trying everything possible for the Bengals to win that game. And that's really what they need. But I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara here. They go against the Houston Texans. I don't love the matchup because the Texans have a really great defense. But I think really, if Texans get up by a lot in this game, it's going to come down to the Saints trying to do check down passes and, kind of come back. So I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara there. The next play I'm going to go with, and sadly, Josh Jacobs, man. I mean, he's had 2 good weeks back-to-back, but he's been absolutely a mess. Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift. Versus the Jets defense. I don't know if I love that because the Jets do have a pretty solid defense. Let's take the gamble there. Let's take the gamble. Now we have 800, and whenever I do my, builds, I like to do the build, and then I go back, and if I have any extra money, I see where maybe I could change something, right? Maybe I like this guy more, maybe I like that guy more. 800 here. I really like the defense versus the Raiders. I don't trust the Raiders. DJ Moore, I really like this week. Evan Ingram, I'm fine with. He's part of my stack. Jordan Addison, I don't mind him versus Chicago. Maybe Christian Kirk. I could find myself getting off of him and maybe going someone like Debo here. Now, obviously the Browns defense is pretty solid. Last, 2 weeks ago versus the Ravens isn't a good example. But overall wise, they're pretty dang solid. So let's go with Debo here because I think he can get open. Even though they're solid, I think Debo is going to eat. Debo always eats. He always gets his money. And now I'm just doing a skinny stack between Trevor Lawrence and Evan Ingram. And I'm doing no buyback options. And I feel safe there, right? I feel comfortable there. I'm going to kind of sit there and chill there. Guys, definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. And I'll see you guys in the next one.